This is Mantis Sports Media, and we're presenting high school girls volleyball action. Tonight's matchup is going to be facing the home Lady Comets of West Carter, right now at a record of 6-1, and they're going to be taking on the visiting Lady Eagles of Fairview, currently right now at 4-3. So we take you down to the court right now. This is Jeff Irwin with Mantis Sports Media, coming to you live here from West Carter High School in Olive Hill, Kentucky, on John Hop Brown Court this afternoon. And as we mentioned, this is going to be the West Carter Lady Comets, currently one of the best in the region, sitting up there about the second or third place at a record of 6-1, and is going to be taking on the Fairview Lady Eagles right now at 4-3. Of course, the Lady Comets coached by Christy Tackett in her third season, and the Lady Eagles have been coached by Rick Lambert. He's in his fifth season in this tenure. And before that, several years ago, he was also an 8-year veteran of the Lady Eagles Fairview volleyball team. So tonight should be an interesting matchup, as these are definitely two powerhouses within the 16th region. Because don't let the 4-3 record fool you of Fairview, because they are right now undefeated. They are 4-1 within the 16th region. Currently, right now, they started off their season winning at Lewis County at home against Lewis County 3-0. Then they played Raceland at home and won that 3-0 as well. Their first two losses came against the same undefeated Paintsville team during the Lady Lions Invitational, where they also picked up a win against Greenup County 2-0 in tournament format. Then on the 14th, they took on Rose Hill Christian, beat them in straight sets, 3-0. And their only loss in the 16th region has come from Boyd County at a 0-3 loss against them, with scores being 25-15, 25-19, and 25-16. Of course, the Lady Comets definitely coming in tonight as looks definitely on paper as the team to beat tonight, because they are 6-1 currently right now, and that is also their 16th region record. They have defeated Ashland, Greenup County, Raceland, Russell, East, and Bath in dominating victories. They did have a couple of 5-set matches. In their very first game, they took Ashland down to the wire and picking up that win 3-2. And then also last week, they took on East Carter, cross-county rivals, and took them to 5 sets as well. But Lady Comets mostly been picking up their games in straight sets, especially against Raceland, Russell, and Bath County. All those were games that you've seen here live on Mantis Sports Media. Of course, definitely the big targets to look at tonight, kind of looking at some of the stats from the Bath County game that we had on Saturday. A total of 24 kills for the team, with Rebecca Stevens leading the way. Definitely have to watch out for her, number 43 for West Carter. She had led the team with 9 kills. And then Madison Atkins, typically we don't see her up on the high on the kills rating, but she was second in kills that night. Usually the one that's getting the assist ended up netting 5 kills against Bath County. Then Macy Inskeep, coming off the bench and picking up 4 kills of her own, most of those pretty early on in the game. Peyton Stegall, usually up there, down a little bit during that game, having 3 kills. Then Lauren Knipp, the freshman, scoring 2 kills, and Jenna Jordan netting 1 herself. Of course, the team all together scored a total of 4 blocks, with Madison Atkins getting half of those, and Rebecca Stevens and Lauren Knipp getting the other 2. The team had a total of 19 assists, with Madison Atkins getting 11 of those, and 19 digs on the afternoon as well, with Madison Atkins once again the team leader on the dig column. And then West Carter had a total of 15 overall service aces, 9 of those coming in from, you guessed it, Madison Atkins. So they had a fantastic game against Bath County on Saturday, a game that we had live here. Of course, taking a look now at Fairview's previous game, that was against Boyd County, so stats down just a little bit. They ended up having a total of 16 kills, no blocks, 13 assists, and 43 digs with 5 service aces. So looking at some of the stats, some numbers you need to watch out for here tonight on the Fairview squad. Definitely number 28, Charlie Hobbs. She ended up with 7 kills against Boyd County. Then it's kind of spaced out pretty evenly between Natalie Tackett, Grayson Price, and Kiera Loving with 2 kills each, and Shelby Markham and Carissa Conley with 1 kill each, finishing up the Boyd County game that night. Of course, assist leader for the Fairview Lady Eagles, number 48, Kiera Loving. So definitely need to keep an eye on her tonight as she's currently warming up in the setter position on the court right now. So as we mentioned before, and especially with COVID rules and everything else, the serve is predetermined before the match. The visiting team is the one that is going to be receiving the first serve, so we see them out on the court right now warming up as the West Carter Lady Comets are off to the side, conferring with their coaches and getting ready for their time to warm up here as well. Of course, we had a battle before this in the JV matchup. Of course, Fairview Lady Eagles picked up a win on that one in straight sets, 2-0. So the JV Lady Comets struggling just a little bit, but they are definitely putting up a fight each and every game as they took the Lady Eagles all the way down to the wire during that last set. I believe the score on that one ended up being 21-19. So definitely a close matchup for them earlier this afternoon. But like I said, the Lady Comets definitely going to be firing on all cylinders tonight. Rebecca Stevens, who took a fall a little bit earlier in the season and had to sit out for just a little bit during that first game, back on the court, and as we mentioned, getting the kills last week. So she's definitely someone we're going to have to be watching here today. Of course, on that game on Saturday, usually the 2 kill leaders, Jenna Jordan and Peyton Stegall, struggled just a little bit, putting a little bit too much muscle in behind that one. Probably fired up from the big win by West Carter on Saturday over Boyd County at a score of 40-0 on the football team. So we'd like to give them a congratulations as well. Of course, taking a look around the region here tonight and some games that is going on. Just taking a look down at the schedule here. We have East Carter tonight traveling to Fleming County. So that should be a good matchup for them. Playing tonight, of course, West Carter beating East Carter earlier in the season last week, but taking it all the way down to the wire for that game. Also taking a look, Rose Hill is going to be playing at Ashland tonight. And big district matchup with the Greenup County Lady Musketeers taking on the Russell Lady Devils. That one is a seeding game that we are definitely going to keep our eyes on. Of course, if you're interested on that, go check out my good friend Hank Bond over at the Greenup County Beacon and give him a look on that. He should be broadcasting that game here live this afternoon, and the playback will be available on Facebook, as is our games as well. So if you don't catch us live or if you miss something that's out there, make sure that you catch the replay on there, always available on Facebook Live. And we are glad to have you here today and joining us in and watching 16th Region Volleyball this afternoon. Of course, taking a look at the schedule as well, as we mentioned earlier last week and then into the week, of course, the West Carter and Carter County schools getting back into session with a soft opening this week. All transition students as far as kindergarten, 6th grade, and freshmen. Was invited. Half of them was invited into the school today. So first in-person learning occurring so far on there, just as a soft opening, not required on there. Still doing the virtual classrooms, but we was inviting the freshmen in and the 6th graders and the kindergartners to be able to get used to their schools, so that once we get back in full session next week on the 28th, we will be set and ready to go, and they'll be familiar with the building. And so that's going to be happening. That happened today, and they'll be happening tomorrow, and a new group will be coming in on Thursday and Friday. So school's definitely getting back in session, and we'll see if it has any effect on the play of these teams, because I'm sure a lot of these teenagers taking advantage of the virtual schooling so far and sleeping in probably until about 1 or so. I know that was one thing that the assistant principal mentioned this morning. He's like, I know you're probably used to sleeping late, and but now you're getting up and waking up early and having to get back to school, so time to kind of get back into the whole swing of things on here. But looking around the Commonwealth on there, looks like actually 4 games have been canceled today due to COVID policies. And of course, remember, as we mentioned before, you can monitor the color coding of the counties to see exactly where our county or your county, wherever you're listening to us at, is at in the Commonwealth. And as long as you stay below a red, you're good to go. But as soon as you dip into that red area, in which that is a certain number of cases per 100,000 population, some very statistical speak on there. But if it gets to be pretty bad, they shut down sports, they shut down schools, and everybody goes back to virtual learning, and there's no schools. And as we see, that is happening right now across the Bluegrass. So we want to make sure and remind everybody, do your part to help us all to keep safe. Remember to wear your mask, keep social distance, and just take care of yourself. If you're feeling sick, and you want to see the ball game, that's what we're here for, and we're glad to help you out with that. So make sure that you do tune in with us. Make sure you like us and share our videos on Facebook. And also make sure you put a comment down. We'd love to see your comments tonight on who are you rooting for? Where are you watching from? We've had some fantastic responses here in the last little bit. We've had them as north as New York so far, and then as far south as Florida. So we are glad to have all of our viewers here today. So if you're local here in Olive Hill, or if you're over there in Wildwood or in Fairview country, go ahead and tell us where you're at and who you're rooting on for. Are you cheering on a specific player? Just cheering on the entire team? We'd like to know that as well. So make sure you get those comments out here. So it looks to be about 2 minutes and 30 seconds until first serve. So we are glad once again that you are here and watching with us here this afternoon. And just a reminder, you are watching us on Mantis Sports Media. And if you're interested in finding out more information about getting advertising with us or sponsoring or giving us a donation or anything else on there, we'd appreciate anything. Or if you'd just like to give us a holler, we'd love to hear from you as well. You can contact us, of course, on Facebook Messenger. That's an easy way to get hold of us. We'll try to get back with you as soon as possible. We've had several people doing that. But also you can get a hold of us via email at mantisportsmedia@gmail.com. Or you can give us a phone call or text us at 606-207-3315. And like I said, we'd love to hear from you. Even if it's a, hey, how you doing? Love to make some contact with people that's out there. Because actually I got a text from the football game a little bit earlier this week, and it was Danny Sparks, who was one of the very first varsity football teams here at West Carter in 1973, giving us a kind of a shout out and thanks to us for being able to watch these games live, because we know that especially during this pandemic and everything, there's many reasons why people can't come out and watch these games. They'd love to. We know that tickets are limited, seating is limited. Of course, fortunately with volleyball games, the tickets are sold at the gate, so if you are interested in coming to a game, feel free to come on out. They'll be glad to help you out and sell you a ticket and get you into the facilities here. But for the football games, of course, this week is an away football game as the West Carter Comets traveling to Shelby Valley, which they beat last year 33-7. So they are going to be taking them on this Friday. Of course, the schedule for next week is just a little bit lighter as we take a look at it, because next week on the calendar for Carter County Schools is going to be a fall break on the 1st and 2nd of October. So no game's going to be on that for volleyball. For the rest of this week here, of course, we have our Fairview match today, and then the Comets are home against Morgan County tomorrow. And then they're going to be finishing up on the 24th at Bath County, and that's on a Thursday. So that's going to be the Lady Comets volleyball schedule. And as we said, the football Comets, they are on the road this week against Shelby Valley. And then on October 2nd, they're going to be playing Bath County at Bath County. So as we are now set to go, here's the first serve by Fairview, as Atkins gets the ball up to Stegall, and we have a double contact, so that's going to give West Carter the lead right now, 1-0. The officials this afternoon, Bill Renzi is up on the ladder, and Dr. Jerry Foster is down on the floor as the R2. So this one's popped up high by Raceland, getting the attack, and blocked there by Atkins. Nice block. She definitely had some elevation on there to get that one put down to score the second point for West Carter. Of course, your starting lineup for the Lady Comets serving right now is number 2, Peyton Stegall. And, of course, you had Atkins, Madison Atkins, who just got that last block. Rebecca Stevens, number 43. Number 3, Jenna Jordan. Number 34, Kenzie Hay. And then finishing off with number 20, Haley James. And there's James digging it up, allowing Atkins to set up, and that one goes to Jordan for the kill. So good start here for West Carter, as they were able to stop Fairview on the initial serve and was able to keep that. And now they scored 3 straight points. But answering back was number, I believe that is 28. That is Charlie Hobbs of Fairview scoring their first point on a nice kill. Of course, number 5 serving now, Natalie Tackett for Fairview. And that one marked an ace inside in the bounds, so Fairview scoring their first ace of the evening. And this one's popped up, saved back by James, and popped over for West Carter. Good save on there as Fairview free balls it back up, gets it to Atkins, who gets it to Stevens for the kill. And we got a substitution in for West Carter, number 16, Macy Inskeep, checking into the ball game for Hay. As Atkins set to serve now. Good dig by Atkins as West is having to free ball it over. There's the set by Fairview, and nice hit, and that one is off of James's hands and out of bounds, so point Fairview. So 4-3 right now is the score, just a 1-point game. As the Fairview setter, Kiera Loving serving, but getting that one into the net. Number 0, Cora Burton checking in for the Lady Comets now as Rebecca Stevens back to serve. And tip over there by Loving. And Jones with the attack. Fairview able to save that one. West Carter on the attack now, getting it to Burton. Ribeiro is able to get that one. Inskeep with the kill. As we said, she had 4 kills during the last game. I believe that's a season high for her, and is the first one here tonight. As West Carter extends out their lead 6-3. And that one hit in the corner there by number 1, and that's Carissa Conley for Fairview. Taking it deep into the back shelf of West Carter. Not able to get a hand on it. Brings Fairview back within a 2-point game. And Burton with the tip. But they're going to call a prolonged contact. It was in the net anyway, but prolonged contact. They said that she got a hand just a little bit underneath it and made too long of a contact with it. So that is an illegal hit. And that one hit just a bit strong by Jordan. Ties the ball game up now for Fairview, 6-all. And Inskeep on the hit there. Atkins gets it back to Atkins for a back row attack. Dug out by the libero. Over top of the West Carter block as Atkins sets up Inskeep. Dug back out, and here's Fairview on the attack. Jordan on this one. Some good play by both teams on this rally. Push over by Loving. This one to Jordan. Gets it to the back row, but the libero is able to get this one. Back row attack by Fairview. Dug out by Airwood. Burton on the attack. And finally, that one ends with a Fairview hitting it long and giving West Carter the 1-point lead. That was a nice volley by both teams, able to keep it inbounds. Some good hard hits by both teams on there. So Jordan set to serve now for West Carter. And that one's in the net and ties the game back up again at 7-all. Hey, checking back in for West Carter as the libero, number 31, Cameron Fry, set to serve now for Fairview. As we got a West Carter player tying their shoe right now. We're ready to roll again. Arrowwood with the good dig, gets it up to Atkins, and then to Peyton Stegall for the kill. Nice kill there by Peyton Stegall. You know, one of Atkins' favorite targets. Like I said, she's got 3. You know, most teams usually don't have a whole lot of people to attack, but West Carter at least has 3, if not more. Kenzie Hay back to serve now. Back row attack there by Fairview. And back to Stegall again. Couldn't put this one away. Another back row attack and off of Peyton Stegall's hands as it falls flat and ties the back up again at 8-all. Number 29, Shelby Markham serving for Fairview. As Stegall gives this one over. They were expecting a free, but that was just a little bit harder than what we would call it. And hitting error, attacking error against number 5, Tackett of Fairview. Gives West Carter back up the lead again. As Haley James, number 20, checking in for Cora Burton and is going to be serving for West Carter. Deep and a bit hard to handle off of the pass. Gives West Carter another ace on there. And giving them also a 2-point lead. Fairview able to handle this one. Push over from the back row player. Bounced around a little bit, hit deep into the West Carter end. Arrowwood gets a hand on it, but nobody else back there to help her out. Is going to cut the West Carter lead to 1. Of course, we always watch those back row players for both teams because they can attack the ball in front of the attack line, but they have to stay below the height of the net. And so sometimes if you see that Fairview player, and that is out of bounds, point goes to West Carter. But if you see like the Fairview player coming up, and you kind of look at her looking down at the line and not really jumping up as high, that's because she's a back row player. And Stegall serves that one out of bounds, giving Fairview the point, and it's a 1-point ball game, 11-10 in favor of West Carter. Because as we said, a back row player cannot attack in front of the line above the height of the net, but they can attack if they're flat-footed or if their jump doesn't reach up above the height of the net, or above the height of the net. Atkins sets us up to Jordan, and blocked there by Loving. Ties this ball game up at 11. Number 5, Tackett serving for Fairview. And that's a deep attack and out of bounds. Fairview gives West Carter back the 1-point lead again, as Inskeep checking in now for Hay. And Atkins back to serve. Of course, Atkins, the number 1 ace getter during the last matchup against Bath County. Of course, Fairview able to handle this, gets it into their offense. Gets it there, good dig by Airwood. Jordan pops it over. Loving knocks it over on a free ball. Atkins sets it up, gets it to Stevens, and that one is touched. So that one was touched by the defense, and so the point goes to West Carter. So 13-11 now for West Carter. Loving sets it up. That one off the tape, but makes it over. But Atkins, Inskeep and Atkins able to keep that one in play, and West Carter gets the point. That is some good reactions by the Lady Comets, able to keep the ball up. Sometimes that's the whole name of the game, is just keep the ball in the air and just hope you get it over, because a lot of times teams will celebrate not knowing that the ball is still alive, and I think that was kind of one of those cases. Loving with another block as Atkins digs that one out. This one's at the net. Atkins dig once again. Airwood sets it up, and that one is to James, and this one goes way deep and doesn't quite have the distance, and so West Carter's going to get the point off of the James deep hit. Rick Lambert wants to talk things over as his team is down by 4 midway through the first set. So some good play by both teams, and as we said, a lot of times the name of the game is just keeping that ball up in the air, because you can easily catch a team sleeping on the other side, because if they think it's a bad hit and that the other team's not ready for it, they'll kind of slack off a little bit and start kind of getting ready to celebrate with their teams. But if it's still a live ball, that ball can easily come over and do some damage to you. So definitely not something you want to face as a team on there. So timeout. Finishing up, that's Fairview's first timeout of the set. Atkins still serving for West Carter. Loving tips it over, gets it to Atkins. Atkins to Airwood, sets it up for Jordan. And off the block, Inskeep able to hit it into the net. Atkins digs it out. And this ball's still alive and well on there as Stevens gets the hit, and this one goes up and over outside of the boundary marker, and that's going to be out of bounds, point to West Carter. So that was a good dig. Atkins hit it in the net, and and that is an ace by Atkins. But West Carter able to hit it in the net. Inskeep able to just pop it up so Atkins can knock it over on a free ball. Keeping the ball alive for West Carter. And there is 2 aces in a row. As West Carter now with a 7-point lead here tonight. As we said, Atkins definitely someone to watch when she is on the serve. Loving sets up her offense, and that one just right in front of James. Down point for Fairview. Of course, Loving is ready to serve for Fairview. Atkins sets up Stevens for the kill. Just puts it right between the libero and the back left. As Burton is checking back in for West Carter. And Rebecca Stevens, the person responsible for that last kill, is now back to serve. And Fairview going to have to free this one over. As Atkins is able to set up their offense. Gets it to Jordan. Nice strong hit, but good dig by the libero. This one is over. Airwood, good dig. Burton on the attack. And that is another prolonged contact. She got her hand underneath it and just touched it just a little bit too long. 5 points away now for West Carter, picking up the first set victory here. But not if Fairview's got anything to say about it. That was number 28, Charlie Hobbs, on the kill. Still a 7-point ball game for West Carter as Hobbs is back to serve. Atkins tips it over, but there is contact there. That was number 29, Shelby Markham, on the net, giving West Carter the point. As Amelia Airwood getting ready to serve for West Carter. And that one's in the net, point to Fairview. Kenzie Hay checking back in for the Lady Comets. As Carissa Conley comes off for Fairview, and Natalie Tackett goes in as the libero, Cameron Fry, set to serve. And that one in the back shelf of West Carter's in that back corner. That's usually one of the most dangerous spots to be able to hit it, because it's tough to judge if that is going out of bounds or if it's going to land just flat. And that one right in that corner and the good sweet spot. Attack error there for Peyton Stegall. Cuts the lead now to 5 for West Carter. As the sophomore set to serve. Airwood with the hit. Fairview setting it up. That one's off of Atkins and just a bit out of Airwood's reach. Gives the point to Fairview. So Coach Tackett wants to talk it over with her team now. So the score is West Carter 21, Fairview 17. It's cut to a 4-point lead here at West Carter. And just a reminder that you are watching us live on Facebook, Manta Sports Media. If you'd like to contact us about sponsorship or advertising, give us a call at 606-207-3315. Shoot us an email at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com. Or shoot us a message here on Facebook. We'd be glad to talk to you. Also, don't forget to put down in the comments who are you rooting for tonight. Is there a specific player that you would you want to cheer on, go ahead and put that down in the comments, and we'll see if in between sets we can read a few of those out here. So Fry still serving for Fairview, as that one sails a bit long, and point goes to Wes Carter. 3 points away now for finishing off the set, as Kenzie Hay behind the line to serve for Wes Carter. And Fairview on the attack, able as Atkins gets it to Stegall, but that's just a bit strong for her, and that is out of bounds. So 4-point game, 22-18. As the ball popped up on the stage, we'll let it sit there until the end of the first set. As Airwood with the dig gets it over to Atkins to Stegall. Hard hit by the libero, but able to handle it. Wes Carter now setting up the offense, getting it to Stegall, and that one is in bounds. So Wes Carter now 2 points away from finishing off this first set, as Haley James coming in to serve, replacing Cora Burton. Popped up, set up by Fairview. And that was definite contact there against Stevens. So Stevens makes contact with the net, giving Fairview the point. As we mentioned before, any contact with the net at any point in time is illegal at the high school level. This one to Stegall. Pushed over by Loving. Atkins sets up Stegall again and off the block. And that one, good point goes to Wes Carter. So Wes Carter facing set point number 1 here tonight, as Peyton Stegall back to serve for the Lady Comets. And that one, they're struggling to get there. Free over by Loving, as Atkins sets up Stevens, and that one's a bit out of bounds. So just a bit long on that right-hand side. Brings it still to a 4-point game, but all it's going to take is one Fairview error or one Wes Carter kill, and this game or this set is over. So Wes Carter struggling on that serve. So it is 24-21. Remember, this game will go to 25. Have to win by 2. As Fairview scores their second ace on the night. Atkins setting this one up, going to Jordan. And that's a bit long. So these errors are starting to pile up a little bit for Wes Carter, as they're making some unforced errors, and that's definitely something you can't do against a team like Fairview. As we said, Fairview, the only loss in the 16th region is to Boyd County, which Wes Carter also lost to. And Wes Carter setting this up, and that goes to Loving, who pushes it over. And Wes Carter can't handle it, and that goes out of bounds. So it's a 1-point ball game, 24-23. As Wes Carter calling a timeout, trying to get the team settled down, because they've been on set point for about the last 5 points, and has let Fairview come back up to challenge them. Now, of course, still one Fairview error or one Wes Carter kill, and that's going to be the set. But if Fairview scores this point, then we are going to be heading into some extra volleyball, because you do have to win by 2. So right now, if Wes Carter would score the next point, it'd be 25-23, and that would finish off the set. But if Fairview gets this, then it's going to be a race to 26, win by 2. As Natalie Tackett still serving for Fairview. Wes Carter trying to get the finish here as that one out of bounds. Wes Carter wanting a tip, but nobody showing it. Neither line judge, and both the R1 and R2 are in agreement on that. So we are at a tied ball game right now. So first one to get a 2-point lead is going to win this set. And hitting error on the set now puts Fairview in the driver's seat as they're up 25-24 and is 1 point away. So one Wes Carter error or one Fairview kill is going to give this one to the Lady Eagles. As that one sails out of bounds, tying it back again. Of course, not who Fairview would like to have serving back there. Madison Atkins is back to serve for West as Macy Inskeep comes in for Kenzie Hay. So Loving setting this up, trying to get her offense going. Airwood gets it over to Inskeep. And blocked by Stevens, who hits it again, and that one is inbounds. Wes Carter now with another set point, and Rick Lambert wanting to use his timeout, so everybody has used all their timeouts. You can't buy another one here during this set, and Wes Carter is on top right now, 26-25. So definitely a good match to start the night off. And just as a reminder, you're watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. As I said, definitely not who you want to see behind the line serving for Wes Carter in this situation. Peyton Atkins very deadly on behind the line. Gets this one popped up by Fairview. This one's going to be a free ball over, going to give Wes Carter a chance to set up their offense as they're going to get it to Jordan, who gets it there and not able to get it as Fairview tried to get the pass up, but no attacker in the area as they struggled to get it, and it falls at the net, and so that is going to give Wes Carter the win in the first set. So first set ends up in extra volleyball as West takes it 27-25. Anybody's game for a while there. Wes Carter was in the driver's seat, and but then unforced errors coming out, making things difficult for the Lady Comets on some attacking errors and a few passing errors. Lady Comets struggled there a little bit and was able to rally late into the set and able to finish things off finally by a score of 27-25. So 3 minutes in between sets as we get our scoreboard reset for you here, showing the lead by Wes Carter. And as we said, you are watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. If you'd like to get in contact with us about advertising or sponsorships, feel free to contact us at mantassportsmedia@gmail.com. Give us a call or text at 606-207-3315. Also, feel free to give us a contact on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, do appreciate everybody liking and commenting on our page. I'd like to thank Verlina Turner. She's cheering on Wes Carter here tonight, as well as Donna and Jeffrey Buckler. And also giving a shout out to Jesse Enix, and they are watching here today. So glad to hear from all of you all here. Love to hear from more of you. So definitely make sure that you like us, follow us, and share these videos because I'm sure that these players would absolutely love to hear from you and have your support. And as we said, we are happy to be able to broadcast this to you live here tonight at West Carter High School. As the team's set to come back out on the court, West Carter taking the first set 27-25 in some extra volleyball. And West Carter going to be serving to start things out in the second set. Coming out for West Carter, you got number 2, Peyton Stegall. Number 8, Madison Atkins. Number 34, Kinsey Hay. Number 20, Haley James. Number 43, Rebecca Stevens. And then number 3, Jenna Jordan. Looks like Peyton Stegall is back to serve for West Carter. Coming out for Fairview, looks like we have number 48, Kira Loving, the setter. Number 30, Graceland Price. Also going to have their libero, Cameron Fry, and we'll get the next few of them here in just a moment as Stegall sets this one out. Free ball over by the Eagles as Atkins sets it up to Stevens, and that one marked as a block, so West Carter continuing to play that one. Another back row attack by Fairview, and just off the hands of Hay, lets Fairview strike first blood on the hitting error of Wes Carter. Number 30, Graceland Price serving now for Fairview as Atkins gets it to Stevens and off the block and down for the kill. And Madison Atkins, the one who helped to finish this off on serving at the end of the first set, is back to serve now for Wes Carter. Fairview off the top of the tape. Good dig there by Atkins, pushed over by Stevens. And that one blocked by Wes Carter. Gives Wes Carter the first lead of the second set, 2-1, as Macy Inskeep coming in now for the Lady Comets. Fairview on the attack, and that one is outside of the line judge, and so West Carter now with the 2-point lead. As we said before, just a reminder that all volleyball, the lines in volleyball are inbound, so a ball has to be completely out to be out. And another attack, a good strong attack by Fairview as West Carter gets this one over. Another strong attack, and that one off the top of the tape and back down, giving West Carter now a 3-point lead. And that one off the tape, off the net again. West Carter stretching their lead out to 4. Like I said, definitely not someone you want to see on the other side of the net going up against, and that's Madison Atkins in the serving line. But she is quick, and she can just about end up anywhere on the court. As James gets this to Atkins, and now for Jordan. Free ball over by Fairview. Gives West Carter a chance to set up the offense as Inskeep gets this to the back to the libero. And kill by Fairview's number 28, Charlie Hobbs. So that ends the service for West Carter. They get the ball back. And Cameron Fry, number 31, the sophomore for Fairview, ready to serve. And attack error by Jordan gives Fairview the point. think a little miscommunication on the initial pass, and comes over to her, and she wasn't ready for it. But West Carter gets it again, gets it over to Stevens, who tips it over. Fairview pushing it to the back to Airwood, gets it to Atkins, and now to Jordan again. Stopped by Fairview. This one right in the net again for Fairview, giving West Carter a 3-point lead as Cora Burton checks back in for the Lady Comets. Rebecca Stevens, number 43, the junior, set to serve now for West Carter. And that one is out of bounds. So Loving serving now for Fairview. Atkins sets this up to Inskeep. Gets it to the back row. Fairview able to get this. Attack over again by Fairview's 28 to Hobbs. Back row attack this time by the Lady Eagles. West Carter has to get it over. Is going to free ball it by Burton. And tip. Good save by Atkins, stretching out for that one, saving it just behind the block. And ending up getting the kill on there was Hobbs. So Fairview now cutting it within one. And hitting error by Atkins, getting it into the net for West Carter. Ties the score up at 6-all. As we said, this is definitely going to be a good matchup here tonight, as both teams pretty equal. Like we said, on paper versus their last games, maybe not so much, but Fairview definitely fighting on to stay within to the West Carter Lady Comets, as that one sails long for Loving and out of bounds. So West Carter's Jenna Jordan set to serve. As they get this over to the left, and Inskeep able to get it off the block, but nobody there to follow up. Burton tries to one-hand it over, but just a bit soft, and we now have a tie game again at 7-all. Hobbs serving for Fairview. Gets this one over to Stegall. And that one sails just to the left of the boundary marker by Fairview, and so that's going to give West Carter back the lead again. As Kenzie Hay checks back in for Inskeep, and Hay, the senior, ready to serve. And that one, a little bit of a mix-up. The line judge on the right-hand side is showing a tip. The R1 initially showing an out of bounds. So they're going to give this point to Fairview to tie things back up. So that one's out of bounds to West Carter. So a little bit of a mix-up. The R1 showed the point initially to Fairview, and then the line judge on the right-hand side, to our right hand, his left-hand side, showing a touch, but coaches asking for a different ruling on there, and eventually they just go with the initial call, and that is the out of bounds, which tied up the ball game. Burton serving now for West Carter. And this one, a setting error by the Lady Eagles. Gives West Carter now a 2-point lead. Fairview hits this one straight over on the initial hit, and Stevens gets it there, but down ball and killed by Fairview. as James checking back in for Burton. And number 29, Shelby Markham, serving now for for Fairview. Atkins sets up Stegall. One hands it over. Back row attack by Fairview. Atkins setting up Stegall on the opposite side, and that one goes a bit long and out of bounds. So another tied ball game here at West Carter today as both teams are squared up at 10. Atkins pushes it over and gets it right in the middle of all 6 Eagles. They were standing there, and I think it kind of surprised them that that she was able to put that right in the middle of all of them, and nobody making a move. So that gives West Carter a 1-point lead. One-handed by Fairview as Jordan sets it up. Stevens bumps it over, and that one is into the net to point West Carter. As we said, attacking errors on both sides kind of plaguing both teams tonight. A lot of them in the net. As this one dug out by Hay, tapped over by Jordan, but blocked by Price and Loving. To give Fairview the point, and brings it back within a 1-point game. Okay, we're back and ready to go again. As 30, that is Price, serving long for Fairview, giving West Carter back their 2-point lead. Inskeep now checking back in for Hay. And, of course, Madison Atkins back to the back to serve again for West Carter. And this one off the double block of Inskeep and Stevens, and that one's hit again, but off of Airwood. Gives the point to Fairview on the kill. Cameron Fry, the sophomore for Fairview, ready to serve. And missed pass by the Lady Comets ties this ball game up 13-all. She was down in a good position, but just leaning a little bit to her right and probably opened up that left shoulder a little bit, pushing the ball over to the right. As Fairview having to struggle to get this one, gets the ball over. Airwood trying to save it, does, and then followed up by James. Good play by them. And this one straight at James, is able to get the ball up. Atkins free balls it over. And this is a tip. Stevens able to get that. Hits it back to her on the attack, but Fairview able to dig that one out. 28 Hobbs on that attack, but West Carter is able to get that one, keep that one in play. And Hobbs again. This one, the dig goes over the net as Stevens gets it. And now West Carter setting back up again to Atkins, who finishes it off with authority. As we said, we usually don't see Atkins on the kill list being near the top, but the number 2 kill person this past Saturday against Bath County. And that one a bit to the left by Hobbs now gives West Carter a 2-point lead again. Seems like that is the largest lead of this set for either team right now, is about the 2 points. As Stevens serves it in. And Hobbs goes up, tries to tip it over, but doesn't put enough underneath it. Hits it into the net, and West Carter now with a 3-point lead, 16-13. This one a little bit stronger by Hobbs as Airwood gets it over to Jordan, and that one ping-pongs off a couple Eagles. It bounced off Conley, ended up going back and hitting Markham for the point. As West Carter extends their lead out to 4, Coach Lambert wanting to talk things over just a little bit with his team. Can't blame him to try to slow things down just a touch. As we mentioned before, this is definitely a game of back and forth and rallies, and so that is what we are seeing here tonight. And so just a reminder, you are watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. If you'd like to contact us about sponsorships or advertising, give us a call at 606-207-3315. You can also text us at that number, and you can also email us at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com. And also feel free to contact us on Facebook as well. We'd love to hear from you if you're interested in sponsoring or supporting Manta Sports Media. Seeing Kathy Lewis down in Florida is cheering on the Fairview Eagles. So, Kathy, thank you for tuning in all the way down in Florida. As Rebecca Stevens now serving for West Carter, gets the ace. So I believe by my calculations, that's West Carter's 4th ace tonight. And this one, West Carter can't handle it at the net, giving the point to Fairview, so cuts it back down to a 4-point lead, it looks like. As substitution now for Fairview, number 40, Lily McGlone, freshman, checking in for the Lady Eagles. Inskeep on the attack. Loving sets it up to the left-hand side, and that one inbounds. The line judge thought about it for a second, but finally made the right call, and that was inbounds. It did hit that line. And that one by Loving into the net. Should give West Carter 19 points as they're working and fixing the scoreboard here. As Airwood serving for West, blocked by Burton, but didn't go back over, so that's going to be a point Fairview. First 28, that's Hobbs on the serve for Fairview, as Stegall takes that one just a touch long. Brings us now to 19-17 Fairview, so Fairview cutting it to a 2-point ball game. Burton on the attack. Loving setting it up, but hits it on the top of the tape, and hitting it must have been right on near the boundary line or the candy cane, so out of bounds, called by the official. So 20-17 now, West Carter, as Hay is back to serve. Loving sets it up, free ball over by Fairview. Atkins gets this one to Burton. Fairview now setting up the offense. As a good dig there by Stegall. But Atkins going to be called for the double contact on the set. So that's bringing us back within a 2-point ball game again. as number 1, Conley, now serving for Fairview. Stegall on the attack. Had a couple Eagles right there next to each other, but not able to get it. And so West Carter's now up by 3 as James checks back in for Burton. And so Atkins jumps up and is able to get the block. And so that is going to give West Carter another 4-point lead. And Coach Lambert calling a timeout, trying to get his team settled back down. I believe that is their second timeout of the set. So that should finish things off for them on their timeouts. A couple more comments. Definitely Mary Airwood with a good dig on there. Donna and Jeffrey Buckler chiming that in. Definitely a good dig from Amelia. And then Berlina Turner saying, let's go West. And Penny Perry also cheering on the Comets here tonight. So we're nearing the end of the second set, as this is definitely a tight one for both teams. Typically if you get this close, a lot of times you're thinking about shutting it out, but right now both teams is just looking to hang on. So this one looks like it's going to be free balled, but miscommunication. Looked like Tackett was over there watching the ball, getting lost up into the lights, and no one making a move after that second contact. Shelby Markham, 29, is checking in for number 40, Lily McGlone, as the freshman comes out of the ball game. And Haley James serving now for West Carter. And that one is out of bounds. So West Carter with a 6-point lead right now is set for set point. And that one sails just a bit right. And so Fairview reprieved of that set point for right now and gets the ball back 24-19. They've got a mountain to climb right now, but we know that can be done easily one step at a time. Atkins gets this, sets up, gets it over to Stegall. Didn't get all of it on there, had a little bit of a spinning action to it. And that one out of bounds. And that is going to finish it off on the attack by Fairview. So that is going to finish off this set here as West Carter takes a 2-0 lead, finishing this one within regulation for this set at 25-19. And, of course, just a reminder, you are watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. If you'd like to contact us, send us an email at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com, or you could give us a phone call or a text message at 606-207-3315. Also, feel free to give us a call on or send us a message on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. We do thank you all for your viewing here today on the live stream. Like I said, we try to get this and make it available for everybody in the 16th region and all across the country. If we have any international people, give us a shout out. Love to hear from you on there. So as we said before, 3 minutes between sets in this battle, best 3 out of 5. As we're getting into the third set, West Carter right now is leading 2-0. But I definitely don't count out any team at any time because you can never tell when something is going to happen with either one of these teams. because we know West Carter has had some experience taking it out to 5 sets before, doing it against Ashland and East Carter, but they have been on a trend mostly in getting things finished up within 3 sets. Fairview kind of in the same boat. For them, it's been all or nothing this season. Taking a look at their wins, of course, they defeated Lewis County, Raceland, Greenup County, and Rose Hill all in straight sets. So whenever they win a game, they don't lose any sets. So it doesn't look good for tonight, but you never can tell. That's always the name of, that's why we play the game. You never can tell what's going to be happening at these games. And so, as we mentioned, Fairview only losing 1 game to Boyd County, and that's the same team that West Carter lost to, and their only loss of the season as well. So Rick Lambert definitely trying to get his team fired up here tonight. As Fairview should have the serve to start things out. Coming out on the court for Fairview, you have number 28, Charlie Hobbs. Number 48, that is Kiera Loving. Number 1, Carissa Conley. Number 30, Graceland Price. And number 29, Shelby Markham. And then, of course, the libero coming in, number 31, Cameron Fry. So number 30, Graceland Price, is going to set to start us off for this 3rd set. As West Carter has Stegall, James, Atkins, Hay, Airwood, and Stevens out on the court right now. Good dig there by Airwood, pushed over by James. That one's popped up. James runs over to go gets it. Back row attack by Hay. Going to be a free ball situation by Fairview. Stegall trying to put this one away. Doesn't get all of it. Gets it to the libero. This one with the double block of Atkins and Stevens that may have hit the top of the tape, but either way, it's a West Carter point. As Jordan comes back in for the libero, Airwood. Peyton Stegall back to serve for the Lady Comets. And attack, and this one's popped way up, hits the ceiling, and then falls straight down on the ground. That is definitely one of the hardest plays to try to finish off or to make an adjustment for, because you're following the path of the ball, and then it hits the ceiling. And nothing much you can do about that. There's a lot of Lady Comets around, but it took a weird angle off the ceiling. And so let's count the ceiling with the assist. And popped up by Airwood and tried to get it over to Atkins, but hitting error in the back row. So that's going to give Fairview the early lead, 2-1. As Tackett serving now for Fairview. That one goes underneath the net, point to West Carter. Macy Inskeep now coming into the ball game for James. Tackett comes off for Fairview, and Cameron Fry, the libero, comes in as Atkins serving now for West Carter. As she's able to dig that one, Airwood gets it over. Popped over by Jordan, and Loving trying to finish that one. Gets it over, popped up, but they're going to call the double contact against West Carter. So Loving serving right now against the Lady Comets as Stevens puts it in there. Hard hit. Free ball situation for the Lady Eagles. Stevens, and then, of course, off the block there of Fairview, that was Hobbs. And attacked by Fairview's number 1, Conley. And this one bounced off the net, didn't make it over, so that's going to be 4 hits for the Lady Comets. So that's going to give Fairview a 2-point lead, and that seems where we've been at most of the night. with 2-point leads, except for nearing the end of sets. Airwood gets it up to Atkins, down to Jordan, but attack error hitting it into the net. Wes Carter takes a timeout to try to settle the team down, being down 3 points at the moment. So I think that is about the largest deficit that Wes Carter has faced so far. Coach Tackett needing to get her team pulled back together and refocused. Sometimes it is difficult for teams when they win the first 2 sets. It is difficult for them to stay focused and on that. Try to finish it off on the third set. They almost think that they have it won, but that's definitely not the case. Because many times, as an official, I have seen teams come back from a 2-0 deficit to win the next 3 sets and finish it off. So definitely not something you want to see, but it does make for some interesting volleyball. As the team's coming back out on the court, Loving's still going to be serving the sophomore for Fairview. So Wes Carter's taking their first timeout. They have 1 more left to go this set. Fairview hasn't taken any just yet, so Coach Lambert's got both of them in his back pocket. Atkins stretching to get that one over to Stevens, who pops it over. Fairview on the attack, and that was a double block in there by Inskeep and Stevens, but it falls right in front of them. So Fairview now with the 4-point lead. That one sails long for Loving as Wes Carter takes a sigh of relief to get the serve back. Cora Burton checking back in for Hay. And 43, Stevens serving. Pops this one up, goes in the wrong direction, so they're going to have to free ball this over to keep it in play. As Atkins sets it over to Jordan, and that one's out of bounds. So that gives Fairview back the 4-point lead. Jordan been struggling last couple of games here. Seems like the control to get it down and inbounds a little bit tough for her here the last couple of games. She started off very strong. Still one of their best attackers, but sometimes it's almost like if you're batting. And Fairview with the point. Looked like that was number 30, Price, getting it over in front of the block. But it's almost like a batter, not getting hits. Sometimes that you can get into a slump, and it takes a while to work your way out. As another miss hit by the Lady Comets, and so now Fairview's got their largest lead in the night at 6 here early in the third set. This one tipped over by Fairview. And that one, good save there by the Lady Comets. Several of them getting a hand on it and maybe able to keep the ball in play as Jordan tips that one over. Loving hits that cross court and out of bounds. Stegall coming back in for Airwood. Like I said, sometimes you don't like to get in those slumps. It gets in your head, and it's more of a mental thing as time goes on. The mechanics. Your body knows what to do as Jordan gets an ace for the Lady Comets, and that is their 5th one by my records on the night. Brings it back within a 4-point game. Back row attack by Fairview. Atkins sets us up to Stegall. Blocked by Fairview. Stegall going at it again. Fairview on the attack and gets that one in the back left corner. Over top the block, and Madison Atkins tapping her chest saying that's on her. as Fry set to serve now for the Lady Eagles. Inskeep gets it to Loving, who pops it up. Attack over now by Tackett. That one's over the net, but that's going to be prolonged contact on the hit, popping it up, giving Fairview once again a 6-point lead. Lady Comets just kind of need to settle down right now and focus on the fundamentals and get back in this ball game, as they're given a gift there of an out-of-bounds serve. Haley James checking back in for the Lady Comets, coming in for Macy Inskeep. She's going back to serve. Tapped over by Fairview. Stegall gets it with a little help from the net, rolls across the net and over the tape and right in front of the Fairview player. So that gives West Carter another point, cuts the lead down to 4. Still a lot of work left to do by the Lady Comets to get back in this one during this set. As that one blocked by Atkins. It's things like that that can get your team back into the swinging of things, I guess literally. A good block can fire up your team and get them back on the path. As James serving. Free ball over by Fairview. This time James sets up Stegall. And that one is sails to the left and is out of bounds. So I believe that looks like Markham set to serve now for the Lady Eagles. And that was Markham. Gets it into the net and gives West Carter the point. As former West Carter coach Beverly Barker always said, anytime that you serve the ball into the net, you not only lose the point, but you lost another point that you should have got during that set. As Burton hits that one off of the tape and just gives it right back to him. As Fairview still with a 4-point lead. And that is Price serving now for Fairview. Atkins pushes it over. Loving gets the hit, but got it over to Tackett, Natalie Tackett, but not enough on it to get it up and over the net. So let's count the net with a block on that one. And the point goes to West Carter. Stegall serving now. Gets us over to the left-hand side. It's a push. Jordan with the good stretch on there to try to save it, but just a bit too strong and a little bit outside of her reach. She gets a hand on it, and that is makes the lead now 14-10. As now Natalie Tackett serving for the Lady Eagles. Atkins hits it over. They're going to send it right back to her over top the block. Stevens with a push over, but going to call her for the double contact, and you will see that happen if she kind of took that on her left-hand side and it left on her right-hand side. So they're going to call that a double contact. It was in two different planes. Getting into our mathematical geometry and planes. If you can imagine the body as a plane, she crossed the planes, and that counts as a double hit. And so West Carter on the attack error gets the point back. Still a 4-point game as Inskeep coming back in for the Lady Comets. And Atkins serving. This one pops straight up. Going to be a hit over, not quite a free ball, but gets that one. Atkins gets it to Stevens, and they struggle to get it. And that is a 4 contact against the Fairview Eagles. So that's going to give West Carter the point, cutting the lead down to 3. Set up now by Loving. Gets that one deep, but off of Airwood and out of bounds. So Fairview taking back a 4-point lead here about midway through the third set. Loving back to serve. Airwood with a good diving save. Keeps it in play. They hit it over, but Fairview's able to handle it. Fairview back again. This time they're going to set up their offense. Airwood keeps the hit, and they're going to call Stevens again for the double contact. So she's trying to get that across her body, and you got to keep it on one side. Errors, hitting errors, still plaguing the Lady Comets during this third set. Atkins gets it to Jordan. That time it's off block. Fairview. Wes Carter tips it up off the block. Atkins gets it there to Stevens. And there's a net violation against the Lady Eagles. I think they're going to hit that up on 28, Charlie Hobbs. So that's going to give Wes Carter the point. As Rebecca Stevens serving. Popped up high by Fairview. Puts this back to Airwood, digs it out. Over to Jordan and hit it long again. That's Fairview now serving. That's 28 Hobbs. And Atkins sets up Inskeep, but gets that into the net. So the hitting errors still continue for the Lady Comets during this third set. As Hobbs serving again for the Lady Eagles. Stevens going to try with the back row attack. Catches them off balance just a little bit. This one off the basketball goal and one-handed over. Good play there by the Lady Eagles to keep it in play, and Inskeep tries to finish it but hits it into the net. So Fairview now 5 points away from closing out and winning their first set on the night. Now leading Wes Carter by 7. And so Burton trying to get that one. Hit it right back to her, sent it back to him again as Atkins sets up a Jordan again. And this time she connects. Hits it straight to Cameron Fry, and she can't handle it. So hopefully this is the end of the slump there, but definitely a good kill by Jordan. As the libero, Amelia Airwood now serving for Wes Carter. This one popped up and just out of bounds. Good hustle, but point goes to Wes Carter, so now they cut the lead to 5. So back row attack by Fairview, but that one by Hobbs is in the net. So Wes Carter on a small run right now. Cutting the lead to 4. At a score of 20-16. Airwood gets the ace off of the hitting error of Fairview. So now it's a 3-point lead. And they're going to push this one over as Atkins getting the offense, sets up, get to Stegall. That one's off the block. Markham, but Markham can't finish it off, and it's a 2-point game now, and Rick Lambert wants to talk things over just a touch. was up by, I think, about a little bit more than 6 points. And so Wes Carter's answering and coming back right now, cutting the lead to 2. So, like we said, this is anybody's ball game at the moment. And just a reminder, you're watching Manta Sports Media live at Facebook.com. If you'd like to talk to us about sponsorship or advertising or donations, give us a call at 606-207-3315. Or you can text us at that number as well. Send us an email at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com or send us a message on Facebook. Like we said, we love hearing from the people that is out there and watching us here today. So make sure that you give us a shout out. Tell us who you're cheering on, as we see Jennifer Rose cheering on the Lady Comets here tonight. As Airwood still serving down by 2, but working, chipping away at that Fairview lead. Loving pops us up for a back row attack. This time this one goes over. Atkins sets up to Stegall, but that one is out of bounds. So 21-18, lead is now 3. As Conley now serving for the Lady Eagles. Gets this one to Stevens, and they set it up, and 2 of them was going together, Burton and Stegall, and they kind of jammed into each other, and the ball fell right between them, and so that's giving Fairview a 4-point lead late into the 3rd set here. As Conley gets that one into the net, giving the point to Wes Carter. Haley James back to serve for the Lady Comets. Hobbs trying to get this one, tries to push it over. She was watching herself to make sure she wasn't above the height of the net, but really didn't matter. She was behind the line, so that really didn't matter for her hitting that, but she just tried to push it over. Hobbs gets this one, and it lands right in front of the net. Loving tries to get it. Price scooped it up and hit it back to Loving again, and that should be 4 contacts there by the Lady Eagles. As James still serving for Wes Carter. It's a 1-point ball game. Tackett pushes it over top of the block by Atkins. Burton hits this one to the back and is dug out by Fairview. Blocked by Atkins. So Atkins with another block on the night ties this ball game back up at 22. Fairview having to free ball this one over as James sets this one up to Atkins, and that one is inbounds. And Lambert going to call another timeout. That's his timeout. The Fairview fans not happy with the call, but that was definitely a close one to give the Lady Comets a 1-point lead late into the 3rd set. Of course, as our officiating crew, as we have it here on the court, we have, of course, the R1 as the one up on the ladder. Down on the floor here on the scorekeeper's side is what we call the R2. And then we got 2 line judges. And the line judges help the R1 to make calls. Of course, the R1 can overrule any call at any time made by the line judges. It just depends on how they see it. But it's almost like in the NFL, if there's nothing to drastically overrule it, more than likely they're going to go with the line judge call. As James gets this one over, Loving Sets it up, tried to tip it over, and right just barely out of the reach of Atkins. Ties this ball game up back at 23. As Shelby Markham, the sophomore, getting ready to serve now for Fairview. Stevens gets this one up to James. It gets it to Stegall. Pop back up by Markham. Free ball over now by Price. And this one right at the net couldn't be handled by James. And so that's going to put Fairview at set point right now. So a West Carter error or a Fairview ace or kill is going to finish this set off for the third. As this one goes to Atkins, and she's not going to let him finish it off that soon. Ties the ball game back up with a big kill. Cora Burton going back to serve for West Carter. Tied 24 all, so now the next team that gets a 2-point lead is going to win this one. As that one sails long and gives Fairview the 1-point lead so far, as Kenzie Hay checking back in for Burton. So Graceland Price now serving for set at a score of 24-25. And that one mishandled by Hay. They're going to call her with the prolonged contact, and that is going to finish things off for this third set as Fairview takes one away from the Lady Comets tonight, finishing this one out 26-24. As we said, don't count any team out just yet, because it is one of those things that you never know when somebody's going to start getting hot, and the teams are going to make adjustments to try to extend out this game. As we said before, Fairview's had either all or nothing in their sets, and so tonight's the first night that they're stretching things out just a touch. As they pull away this third set by 2 points from the Lady Comets. So the overall match score right now is 2-1, and this is best out of 5. And you're watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. If you'd like to contact us, give us a call at 606-207-3315 or text us at that number as well. Shoot us an email at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com or send us a message on Facebook. And as well as Facebook, don't forget to like our page. Be sure to be able to follow us, and make sure that you share the video out as well. We like to see this get out as far as what we can. So Kathy Lewis cheering on the Eagles, congratulating them over that last set victory over the Lady Comets. But of course, we got Connie McCoy cheering on West Carter as well as Fran Granham. So glad to see everybody out here today, or watching here on Facebook at the moment. Of course, good news for Carter County, or I guess you can say good news, only one COVID positive case in the county today. So that's kind of brought down a little bit of a string of 2 to 4 confirmed positive cases in the county. So we were able to kind of cut that down just a little bit for this last day. But yet it is a battle, and so we got to make sure that we're doing what we need to do, that we're following all the rules and regulations. So if you go out to the stores, come out to the ball game, make sure that you're wearing your face mask, you social distance as best as you can, and make sure that you wash your hands, sanitize as best as you can. So West Carter are going to be serving for this fourth set. Peyton Stegall back to serve now for the Lady Comets, with Madison Atkins serving in the 2 slot. Rebecca Stevens serving third. with Jenna Jordan in the 4th position. Kinsey Hay in the 5th slot and Haley James in the 6th. Shelby Markham and Graceland Price as well as Loving all out for the Lady Eagles as we're first set into the 4th set, or first serve into the 4th set. Loving sets this one up, gets it right over top of the Atkins block and strikes first. So Fairview taking the early lead, 1-0. As now Graceland Price serving for Fairview. Airwood gets it up to Atkins and to Jordan. And that one's mishit just a little bit, but Fairview able to keep it in play. Atkins gets this one to Stevens, but that one's off the top of the tape. And that's going to be 4 hits against the Lady Comets. So Fairview is there, but this time it was the top of the tape making the block. Atkins gets this one over to Jordan, and once again off the net, giving Fairview a 3-0 lead. Lady Comets shooken up a little bit during that 3rd set. Not starting the 4th set out very well, but we still got a long way to go to 25 points. As James gets this one over to Jordan, and that one is it looked like it was lined, but overruled by the head official, and so that one marked out of bounds, and so that's going to give it to Fairview. So on the close call, Fairview up 4-0. Atkins pushes this one behind her head and strikes first for the Lady Comets, getting them on the board, and she's going back to serve now as Inskeep coming in for Hay. Loving sets this up off the top of the tape. Jordan with a good dig, gets it back to her, pops it up to the back. Fairview able to keep this one, and Loving trying to copy what Atkins did just a moment, but a little bit further back, and that one sails between the net and the standard, and so that's going to give Wes Carter the point. So the lead cut now down to 2. And mishit by the Lady Eagles. So Wes Carter on a 3-0 run of their own right now, as Fairview started off the game with a 4-0 run, and now Wes Carter are with a run of their own. This one hit to Markham, and she went down for it, but couldn't be able to pop it up and hit it out of bounds. So Wes Carter ties back up the ball game. And this one, Markham comes up to the front row and makes the attack, and that is off a Wes Carter player, and so that's going to give Fairview the point. That one, good diving save by Atkins. As she pops it up, gets it to Airwood. Atkins, back row attack. Loving trying to get the offense set up for Fairview. Hits it over to Conley, and that one is in the net, so tied it back up at 5-all. As Cora Burton coming back in for the Lady Comets. Rebecca Stevens back to serve. And that one just barely off the top of the tape gives Fairview the point and the lead, 6-5. As Kiera Loving back to serve now, the sophomore. Atkins gets this over to Burton, gets it back to Loving. Gets it back to Tackett, who gets it to Loving. Airwood saves it over to Atkins and then to Stevens, who hits it in the back. Loving sets it up again. Left-hand side. West Carter now setting up their offense as they get it to Inskeep, but that one's a bit deep. Excuse me. And point is going to go to Fairview. So Fairview now with a 2-point lead. Atkins over to Burton. This one's dug up by Price to Loving, and then over to the left-hand side to Conley for the kill. And so that one, ace by Loving on a lightly hit shot. It looked like it was heading out of bounds, and they didn't play it, but it fell just short and land right in bounds for the Lady Eagles. Airwood to Atkins. Gets it to Jordan with a strong hit off the block. And that one by Conley hit into the net. That's going to be 4 hits by the Lady Eagles, and so the point's going to go to West Carter. As Jordan back to serve now. Loving over to Conley. That one's a bit deep. Hit cross court, and as the good old Bible song says, deep and wide, and that one was deep and wide. Loving back over to, hits it this time to Markham, and off the passing error of West Carter, gives Fairview back the lead, and or gives Fairview back the ball and a 3-point lead. Haley James looked like she was getting ready to go in, but instead it's Kinsey Hay going in for Inskeep. Hay pops it over and out of bounds. So 4-point lead now by the Lady Eagles. Airwood pops that one up to Atkins, gets it to Stevens on the attack, and that one is inbounds. No question about that one, and point goes to West Carter on the Stevens back row kill. Off the West Carter block, able to keep it. Atkins dumps it back down, but Fairview able to keep it in play. This one to Hay, to Airwood, over to Stegall. Saved by Conley, and that one just right in front of Hay, and so point goes to Fairview, and they extend their lead out to 4. Coach Tackett, wanting to slow things down a little bit, is going to call a timeout. That's going to be the first timeout of the set. As you are watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. If you'd like to contact us, send us a text or a call at 606-207-3315, or send us an email at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com. This is Jeff Irwin, and I will answer your emails, or send us a message on Facebook. Love to hear for you. Thanks, Tex English, for the shout out. Good to be able to cover this ball game for the Lady Comets. Angie McNerlin McGee cheering on the Lady Eagles, as well as Kathy Lewis again. So thank you all for tuning in for this live broadcast of West Carter Volleyball. So we're back in action here as Fairview serving that one, but a bit long. Point goes to Wes Carter. Leads back to 3 as Haley James checking back in for the Comets, replacing Burton. This one going to be free balled by the Eagles. Atkins with the dump behind her. And that is a good dump there by Atkins. Saw the block right to her and was able to, kind of take a quick glance behind her. Didn't see anybody in that back position, and so she was able just to put it right there where everybody wasn't. So off the Stevens block, Atkins free balls it over. Loving sets it up to tack it. And that one's off to Hay. James tries to keep it, but not able to finish that one up. And so Wes Carter gives the point to Fairview, and they are up by 3. Markham back to serve for the Lady Eagles. And that one, strong kill there by Stegall as she's set up by Atkins, giving Wes Carter back the point. And so it cuts it back to a 2-point game. Like I said, both of these teams, they're going back and forth. It seems like 2 points is how they like to finish things out, with the first and the third set being decided by 2. Just the second set was determined by 4. So only 8 points separates up these teams as Atkins gets it over the front row and dumps it just over top of where would be the block. They weren't there. They were looking for her to set that one up, but she's able to get that one over and cut the lead to 1. Push over by Fairview as Stegall gets it to Atkins to Stevens. And this one, a strong hit, and that one goes all the way to the stage. So last contact made by Fairview, and Wes Carter has tied this one back up at 13 all. And that's going to be another ace by Stegall as she gives Wes Carter the lead. I think that's about the 6th or 7th ace on the night for Wes Carter. Definitely. Sometimes their serves are hit and miss. They're either into the net or they're an ace. But Wes Carter definitely turning up the heat tonight with some aces. This time Fairview able to play it, but it's going to be free balled over. And that one marked out of bounds by both line judges. So that's going to give Wes Carter now the 2-point lead at 15-13. Stegall still serving. This one right at the net and double blocked by Stevens, and Atkins puts it right down over top of Loving, who was there trying to make the play, but it was on Wes Carter's side, and they were able to get the good block. Loving getting this to the right-hand side off of Atkins and off of Hay. Almost looked like she took that one just about off the face. She's all right, but that point's going to go to Fairview. So, as it was touched by a non-participant, the ball is going to be changed out and sterilized. New ball is going to be thrown back into play here. As James pops this one up and gets it Atkins to Stevens, and there's 2 of them. Luckily, they were able to get that one back over for Fairview as Atkins sets up Stevens, but that one is an attack error into the net. Point goes to Fairview, and Wes Carter's lead is now cut down to 1. As Atkins this time is going to set up Jordan. as Conley stretches to get that one saved for the Lady Eagles, and miss hit there by the Lady Comets as Atkins chases that one over to the stands, gets a hands on it, but not able to be saved. So we're back at a tied ball game again. A little conversation between the server and the R1. Not sure what that was all about, but we're back in play again as Atkins sets this up to Jordan. And that one, good attack, killed, hit it right to Markham. She pushed it straight forward and straight down for the Lady Eagles. So West Carter once again has the 1-point lead. James able to save that one with a good dig as Jordan pushes it over. And this one killed down by Shelby Markham of Fairview. Or excuse me, that was 28. That was Charlie Hobbs. Correction, that was Charlie Hobbs on the kill on the left-hand side by Fairview. Number 5, Tackett, serving now for Fairview. It's Natalie Tackett. As Stevens tries to get this one over, and Fairview going to have to free ball it over. As Atkins gets this to Jordan, and off the block and down. So Jordan powering that one right off of the top of the block and down for West Carter. I think might have missed a point. Scoreboard saying 18-17. West Carter is Loving. Gets one hand and gets that one back over. Atkins sends that one deep. Loving pushes it over. Stevens free balls it over. Loving sets this up. Good dig by Atkins. Airwood gets it back to Stevens for the back row attack. And this one set up by Atkins to Airwood and over to Jordan. Price got her hands on that one, and they're going to be called, Loving's going to be called for the double contact on the miss hit. So West Carter now up by 2. And in the net serve by Stevens cuts the lead back to 1 as we're getting late into the 4th set here. It's anybody's ball game right now. As Loving serving for Fairview. Burton hits it back to the middle. Jordan free balls it over. Loving trying to put it over her head. Is able to get tipped over by Hobbs, and Inskeep gets another kill on the night, putting it in the back. Wasn't a hard hit, but it was definitely deep enough to have put Fairview back on their heels. And so with that 2-point lead now, Coach Lambert going ahead and taking a timeout for Fairview. So we are at 20-18. West Carter on top by 2. And you are watching Manta Sports Media live on Facebook. Make sure that you comment. Make sure you send us a message if you'd like to. You can email us at mantasportsmedia@gmail.com or give us a call or a text message at 606-207-3315. Love to hear from you, or if you'd like to advertise with us or sponsor us, feel free to give us a call and we'll discuss that as we go through. And so as we're finishing out the last few seconds of this timeout, definitely trying to get things settled down a little bit for the Eagles as they took the 3rd set there. But right now it's a 2-point game, and it is anybody's game right now as West Carter's on top at the moment 2-0. Or excuse me, up 20-18. They're up 2-1 in the match. As this one gets set deep to the Lady Eagles. Attack by Fairview, digged out by Atkins. Burton sets it up to Atkins, and on the attacking error, that gives Fairview the point, and now it's a 1-point ball game. As Kenzie Hay is checking back in for Macy Inskeep. And 28 Hobbs is now serving for Fairview. Stegall gets a good attack. They were able to get a hand on that. Hobbs hits it back over again. Atkins going to be called for the, I think they're going to go ahead and call a net violation on that one. And that's going to tie things back up. Official pointed to the net. I thought that they might have got her on a double contact, but apparently someone made contact with the net before the hit. So we're all tied back up again at 20 all. This one, hey, hit it, but Lady Comets able to keep it in as Loving hits it back to Atkins, back to Airwood, and an Atkins attack. This one's off Loving and out of bounds. Going to give West Carter the lead once again at 21-20. Remember, this is a race to 25, and you have to win by 2. As Hay is serving for West Carter. Loving pops this one up at Hobbs. Hay saves it. Fairview getting ready to set up their offense. Blocked by Atkins. And this one off the top of the tape and hits back toward Fairview. And that one is down, and West Carter now has a 2-point lead. Rick Lambert using up his last timeout of the set, so he's out of timeouts. Can't ice the Lady Comets anymore, but he's trying to get his team settled back down after being able to get the game tied back up and to try to get the lead. But Wes Carter with some good athleticism, able to keep the ball alive on a few of these miss hits and able to get it back over. And just following their way here late in the late in the fourth set. So remember, this is a match overall, best 3 out of 5. So if the Lady Comets win this set, they're going to win the overall match tonight. If Fairview comes back and beats the Lady Comets, we're going to go to a 5th set, and that one would go to 15. But Kenzie Hay is going to be back for the Lady Comets to hope to try to put this away. As that one sails a bit long and out of bounds. See, I don't know if I'm hearing things, but it sounds like there's an eagle loose somewhere in this gym. Sounds like about every time Fairview scores a point, I hear the eagle holler. So may have to either get my hearing checked or someone's playing some eagle sounds for their points. As Stegall hits that one strong to the back, dug out by Fairview. Atkins gets this one set up to Burton. Loving hits it back. It's going to be back to her again as she free balls it over. Airwood gets it up to Atkins. This time it's going to go to Stegall. Bounced off of Hobbs. Free ball over by Fairview. This time Burton trying to put away the attack, but ends up hitting that one in the net, and so we're tied, squared up again at 22. As number 1 Conley serving, and that one sails out of bounds, so Wes Carter has regained the lead. Haley James checking back in for Wes Carter, going back to serve as she replaces Burton. Loving getting the offense set up, get it over to Tackett, who just taps it right over top of the block. Nobody there to help out Atkins on the block, so that's going to tie things back up 23 all. As I believe Hobbs is, no, that is Markham serving for Fairview. saved by Atkins, and Stevens gets the free ball over for Wes Carter. This one to Tackett. She got the last point over top the block, and this one's to Stevens. Hits it deep back to Hobbs. To Loving, back to Hobbs again, and this one is a attacking error, hits it right into the net. And so this is going to be match point number 1 for Wes Carter, as it is 24-23. So as we said before, an ace, a kill, or a Fairview error is going to give this game and match to Wes Carter. And that is the ball game as they get it over to Natalie Tackett. She hits it into the net. And so that is going to finish off the match here tonight as Wes Carter takes the victory tonight, 3-1 over top of Fairview. I knew this was going to be a tight game because we were dealing with both teams only losing one game in the 16th region. And because, like I said, we look at the wins and losses, and even though Fairview was 4-3, 2 of those losses came from an undefeated Paintsville, and so they definitely was able to get things started up and gave Wes Carter a run for their money on here tonight. But Wes Carter finishes off struggling a little bit on the attacking, several errors tonight. I'm sure Coach Tackett not thrilled with the errors because, errors definitely gives away points, but Wes Carter able to hold on and pull out the victory here tonight. Definitely not probably the way they had liked to win. They probably definitely like to get that finished over in 3. As we can see Coach Tackett down there right now still coaching the girls. And now there we go. We're finishing off with the school fight song. As the Lady Comets always like to do after a victory. So that's going to make Wes Carter advance up on their record to 7-1. Still only losing to Boyd County so far this year. So Wes Carter definitely one of the teams to beat. Boyd County probably definitely in there as well as another one of the teams to beat. Their only losses, they did lose to Russell, which Wes Carter did beat here in straight sets, as seen live on Mantis Media a week ago. And of course Boyd County has also only lost to Paintsville. Of course that's once again that undefeated team during the Lady Lions Invitational. So Fairview is going to drop to even on the season at 4-4. Definitely respectable. Like I said, assuming that 2 losses came from the same team and the same night. So they were able to put up a good battle here tonight on there for Wes Carter. They were able to pull off the first set victory, went into some extra volleyball. So Wes Carter pulled out that first win at 27-25. And then Wes Carter with the largest win margin of the night by 4 during the second set. So Wes Carter then struggling in that third set, but continuing to battle, ended up taking Fairview once again into some extra volleyball. And Fairview having to get 26 points to finally beat Wes Carter in that third set, 26-24. And then finally Wes Carter in that last set ends up another tight match. So this one could have went either way, a few less errors here or a few more kills there, and that would have definitely finished things off for either team, definitely on there. So taking a look tomorrow night, we're going to be live again here at Wes Carter, as Wes Carter taking on another district opponent, Morgan County. JV time is going to be set for 6 o'clock. We'll probably get started live on the air here around 6:45, going on 7 o'clock, depending on how the JV game works out tonight. Of course, Morgan County struggling so far this season. Their only win is against Menifee County. So far, Morgan County, they do like to play a lot of out of region teams being close on the edge of the 16th region. They've played Estill County, lost to them in straight sets. They played Owsley County. Lost to them in straight sets. Then they played East Carter, lost to them in straight sets. East Carter defeated them by huge margins, 25-5, 25-10, 25-14. Then, of course, Morgan County took on Lee County, lost to them 1-3. So then they finally defeated Menifee County, which is winless on the season so far. They've lost to Bath, Round, and Morgan. So Morgan County struggling a little bit, but this definitely is going to be a seeding game once again for the Lady Comets. Hopefully going to be able to have a tournament coming up here. Of course, it all depends on COVID numbers and the color coding system that is in place. So like I said, so we will be live again here tomorrow about 6:45, maybe to 7 o'clock, depending on the JV match. And then to finish off the week on Thursday, West Carter is going to start an away series. So West Carter will start off at Bath County on Thursday on the 24th, and JV game starts at 6 for that one. And then they're going to take on Morgan County again at Morgan County on the 28th. So that first day of school for Carter County schools, they're going to travel to Morgan County. Then on the 29th, they're going to be taking on Raceland again, and that's going to be at Raceland. And so that's going to finish up for next week. So tomorrow will be our last broadcast of the week as we have the district matchup between West and Morgan. West Carter volleyball is not home again until, I guess, what would officially be senior night, but we've already had senior night here, and that would be on October 8th. So after tomorrow night, we might not be on the air again for volleyball until October 8th, and that is when the cross-county rivals East Carter comes into John Hott Brown Court to take on the Lady Comets. And then just to finish off the season, West Carter will be traveling to Greenup County and Round County. Definitely a huge matchup during that last one as Round County, definitely a tough team. Only have lost to Boyd County, so it kind of seems like, Boyd County has knocked off a lot of 16th region teams, but they've had a loss themselves against Russell. So it's anybody's region during this 2020 season. So we look forward to it, and hopefully we're able to have some tournaments. Of course, we're still waiting on word to see if Carter County is going to be participating in the All-A tournament. I know taking a look at the Fairview schedule, I believe they've got it marked as to be announced maybe on the 26th, so possibly maybe this Saturday. We might see where that's going to be held at and what teams are going to be playing, because West Carter defending 16th region champions for the All-A Classic, and we're hoping that they're going to be able to defend that again. Of course, that all depends on enrollment numbers and everything else, so we'll have to see if West Carter's participating in that this year. Well, that's going to end off things here for us here at West Carter. As we say, West Carter wins 3-1 over the Fairview Eagles by the scores of 27-25, 25-19, then 24-26, and then 25-23. So this is Jeff Irwin for Manta Sports Media, and I'd like to thank you for visiting us and inviting us into your home tonight or work or wherever you're at watching us across the bluegrass and across the country. We're glad that you chose us for your volleyball action here tonight. And so for Jeff Irwin, God bless you all, and this one belongs to the Comets. We will see you tomorrow night around 6:45 to 7 o'clock, so we will see you then. Take care now.